What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Creative Bachman Podcast. I'm your host, Miguel, and today I have a very good friend of mine on the podcast. Basically, I've kind of taught this guy everything he knows, with everything in life. No, I'm kidding. One of my good friends, he actually was one of the main people that inspired me to do this podcast. I kind of took inspiration from like his work ethic and stuff like that, and it made me decide, like, you know what, if I don't do this, I'm never gonna know how it was, whether it works, whether it's not. So yeah, great businessman, good friend, and this is him right here, Mr. Damien De Kenya.
Hello.
How's it?
Hello, and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Firstly, great businessman and only good friend.
Yeah.
Looks like there's some work to do.
I'm getting there. I'm learning. This is I'm new to this as well. So baby steps.
Baby
but
steps.
It's more than that. I mean, business owner, several business owner, two business. And what's also really interesting about the businesses you're involved in, they're like so different. But at the same time, I'm sure you've used elements from
Correct.
the one, and you kind of mash them together.
What I've learned from the first one, I've implemented in the other two.
Yeah.
And obviously growing from that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what for me is really cool. I know a lot of people look at it as like business is single-minded, do one thing and only one thing, and it's kind of not true, because
No, not at all.
you can do more than one thing.
100%. And COVID is actually one thing that taught us that, being in the liquor trade, being closed for so many months, we were forced to diversify and do different things. And also my passion for art has evolved in a sense.
Yeah.
And
Big
obviously
time.
bringing whiskey and wine together with the statues and the art that I collect and sell. It works really well together.
And like people tend to, I don't think, no, actually, I take that back. People don't really forget, but this right here is an art.
It is.
Wine is an
Definitely.
art.
Definitely.
It's
Because
not.
you could give anyone the recipe to make a wine or whiskey, and you won't get it right. It comes from a specialist, a master of his class.
Exactly.
And that's actually becoming more of a passion to me than any other form of art is the whiskey and
Whiskey.
wine. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that we're talking about art, what would you say was your kind of, I don't want to take it back all the way to like grade 1 or whatever, but what was your first taste of art, or your first, the first time you were exposed to art?
That's difficult.
It always is. Like every time I ask every guest I ask is like, just damn, like, and they have to think back.
Well, one to think about. I don't know. It's difficult. It's very difficult. I think why it's difficult is because there's to think of one that's had that impact on my life. Nothing up until this Hulk that's here.
The Hulk is what started it all.
This was so.
Wait a minute, let me cut you off. Sorry. Could it not have been architecture? Because you were into that.
I've always loved architecture.
It could have been that, actually.
I've always had a love for design. Always.
Yeah.
Don't know where that actually came from.
But it was there.
It was there.
Yeah.
Was never able to be. But
Well, thank God.
yeah.
Actually.
I guess things worked out.
Just a little bit,
Just a little bit. Allowed me to have good wisdom.
Exactly. Okay, so let's say it was the Hulk.
I would say it's the Hulk because it's as soon as someone asks me that question, that's the first thing I think of.
Yeah.
And
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit more about the Hulk.
so that Hulk, small collectible, about a $1,000 or so. It's not too expensive.
Yeah.
That I hosted the boys at my house for the weekend because the wife was away with the parents on holiday, so I had all the boys over. I
Fun times.
organised with the national brand ambassador of Jack Daniels to host a formal tasting at my house.
Oh, lekker.
Got in a chef to make us a potjie, and obviously had the boys over, enjoyed. got a little bit out of hand.
Obviously.
It was good. The hospitality for everyone was great. And the week after, it was actually the birthday of the store. It was 4th of July, 2017. Only reason I remember is because of the birthday. Because we had a birthday bash upstairs.
Yeah.
Jace came and he gave me this Hulk. This little Kotobukiya Hulk. It's made out of PVC.
Yeah.
And it's, I think it's hand-painted. Gave it to me as a gift to say thank you for having the guys over. And that sparked a huge interest in me because I have a huge appreciation and passion for attention to detail. That is something I actually, it's a very big thing for me.
Yeah.
The devil's in the detail. And
Yeah,
for me,
100%.
if you just look at his sculpt, even though this is a PVC piece and it's a small little 10th scale statue, the
Still
detail is just, it captivated me, and it just got me so
Hooked.
hooked completely. And I have quite an impulsive nature. So I started collecting all in the series. That was my first collectible, was from Jace.
Okay.
And I started collecting the rest in the series. And about 8 months later, I met a friend suggested to me, a friend that I met through collecting. Obviously, I joined various groups on Facebook and WhatsApp and whatnot. And a friend of mine recommended a company called XM Studios to me. And took a bit of convincing because it's a lot more expensive than the rest of the stuff.
Yes.
Because those are all crafted out of cold cast porcelain. They hand painted, all limited release pieces. So one of the reasons why I was so hesitant was because you have to buy it through a dealer.
Yeah.
In Singapore, there was no official distributor in the country or reseller. And, obviously I was hesitant because you're paying money through PayPal to a stranger, hoping that you get this piece of art, and you're paying 10 times more than what you were for the other collectibles that you were buying. But long story short,
it's a huge risk.
It's a huge risk.
Yeah.
So that's why, it took a while for me to do it. But eventually, bit the bullet, and I did it. And it was actually a XM Studios Lizard.
Okay.
The reason I chose Lizard is because it's one of Spider-Man's villains, and Spider-Man's my favorite character.
Yeah.
So eventually got the piece, unboxed it, and from the moment I opened the box, pulled off the Velcro straps, and set up the piece, I was completely blown away, completely flabbergasted at this spectacle of a piece.
Yeah.
So much so that I phoned the dealer straight away, and I asked him for the owner of the company's number. Got the guy's number. His name is Ben.
Funny enough that you actually got the number, because if I was the guy on the other side, I'd have been like, actually, no, my friend, you're not getting nothing. This is my pie. So, I mean, shout out. You said his name was? Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, so phoned Ben, and I had a chat to him, and I told him, I said, look, I've just received my first XM Studios piece, and it's spectacular. There's no one selling this in the country, and I told him I want sole distribution for Africa. Yeah. And his response to me was, if I'm serious, I must come see him in a month or so. I told him, are you busy next Wednesday? Now, he's in Singapore. So I was like, you know what? There's a gap in the market. I'm going to close this window right now.
Yeah. Early bird catches the worm, as they say.
That's it. Yeah. So during that time that I was waiting to get him, which is about 4 or 5 days, I got a list from him because I know how to get to a businessman's heart is how to help him get rid of dead stock.
Yeah. Stuff
so
that's sitting on the shelf.
That's it. Yeah.
Sell it for him.
Yeah, his money's sitting on the shelf. So I got a list from him, and I placed an order for a full container, not telling anyone that I had ordered XM Studios or that I was bringing the brand to the country.
Yeah.
Took the full risk.
Which is also that's actually, if you think about it, just that on its own is
it's huge.
It's almost stupid.
It is. It's
with all due respect.
It's very stupid. But you know what? If you don't risk.
But you know what? It's also not stupid at the same time, because
it's calculated risk. But it's
you saw the gap, and you saw, you're not a stupid person, so you know how to do business. No, I mean, of course, none of my friends.
You don't normally talk like this to me.
No, bullshit. That's lies. I don't think all my friends are literally all like the people that I surround myself with, especially now, like as of late, you have to like inspire me, because at the end of the day, that's the only way I'd grow as well.
Yeah,
Is,
for sure.
you know, if you surround yourself with people that are only worried about, I mean, yeah, sure, we drink whiskeys, we have a good time, but it's not only about the whiskey, and you don't come here and just,
for sure.
you know, but yeah, as back to my point, sorry, you know, you saw that gap in the market, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about noticing that.
And not being afraid to take the risk.
Yeah, you know,
And
wait a minute, there's a gap. Let me do it, you know, because if you don't do it,
that's it. You'll never know.
you'll never know. And you did it, and look at it now.
And for me, one big thing was not being afraid of failing.
Yeah.
Failing is part of the journey. And that for me, it's a big thing. Even still today, I'll dive headfirst into any idea, because failing is just part of learning.
100%.
And that's where a saying that I love, I win or learn, I never lose.
Yeah.
The best way to predict your future, the best way to create your future is to predict
Predicted.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, you got it. You got it at the end.
No, wait, hang on. I'll get it.
The best way to.
I win or learn, I never lose. The best way to predict your future is to create it.
There we go.
There it is.
Ding, 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 winner. Yeah, but I mean, it's so true. I mean, we were saying it today, myself and Katie. We had a, anyway, it was related to TCB. And I said to him, like, I'm glad that this happened today, because we just learned from it.
Yeah.
You know, and the next time we do it, it's going to be completely different
100%.
because we learned from this.
100%.
As much as it was negative and, you know, it wasn't the greatest thing to happen, but it was okay. I was fine with it, because guess what?
Yeah.
The next time I do whatever I do, it's going to be completely different, and it's going to be better.
Yeah.
Which is
100%.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
So back to that story.
Yeah. Back to that. So I
went through to Singapore.
got the container. Yeah. So I ordered the container, paid for it in full, took all the risk. I dived in headfirst, because you know what? At the end of the day, if you believe in yourself and you do something and you believe that it's a good idea, do not let anyone turn you down.
100%.
And I had a lot of people turning me down, telling me it was a bad idea. It was just negativity from all angles because of the investment size, and this was never being sold in the country. And I said, yes, it's just that. No one's
That's
selling
the
it.
reason.
That's the reason.
That's the reason I want to do it. Yeah.
And I said, and they were like, yeah, but what if it doesn't work? And I'm like, that's okay. Then I learn from it, and we'll move forward.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that really keeps me going and keeps me growing. The way my father taught me is always to be humble and very modest, but credit where it's due. I've made it happen.
Yeah.
I've worked my ass off, and I was always my own biggest fan.
Yeah.
And I always believed in myself. And if, you know, everything that I've done, if you don't back yourself, no one's going to back you.
Yeah, that's it. You
No
know,
one's gonna back
I think
you.
that's what I also learned quite a lot from you was, you know, I was sitting to myself, and I've always wanted to do something like this. I've always wanted to. I'm a creative person at heart. And then as I spent more time with you and everybody, that's when I started to realize, you know what? Nobody's going to go and do the podcast for me.
No.
Nobody's going to go set up the website for me. Nobody's actually going to go do it unless I do it. Yeah. You know, I've got to go do it first.
Yeah, you
push,
got to do it for yourself. No one's going to do it for you.
Then, you know, things will fall into place. Yeah. And it all comes down to that as well. It is also the work ethic. And I mean, you guys don't know it, but I mean, there's sometimes, what was it? Just before your launch, you stayed awake 48 hours. You didn't sleep. 2 days.
No, it was sure, that was a tough day.
It was for the opening,
no,
wasn't
it was just under 65 hours, almost 3 days.
Jesus, you know what I mean? That's insane. And that's also what it takes, because at the end of the day,
do what it takes.
You know, if you're not willing to put everything behind yourself and your own ideas, forget about it.
What you put in is what you get. You can't expect to get results or do great things if you're not willing to put in the time.
100%. And that's one thing I can also take my hat off to almost everybody sitting in this room. Like the work ethic is there, and that's why growth is there, and that's why everything else is there. So how was it the first time, like going to Singapore? The first time
it was hectic, but
meeting with the guy.
So back to what I was saying about the whole case. Well, I got the container.
Yeah.
went to go meet the guys, and by the time I went to go meet them, the container was already on the water. So they knew that when I sat down in their office to discuss salt
It was on
distribution,
the water already.
the container was already on the water, and they knew that I was serious.
Yeah.
So I told them I want salt distribution for the whole continent, and they gave it
Africa.
to me. And 3 hours after I arrived in Singapore, it was 9 o'clock in the morning. They gave me a Carlsberg beer. I drank it, and I signed my salt distribution contract for Africa.
That was for XM.
That was for XM.
Damn.
And
That's
yeah,
cool.
that was July 2018. No, July 2019.
Yeah.
And Symbiote started on the 14th of July. Sorry, 14th of February.
Valentine's Day.
2019. So I got my sole distribution contract 4 months or so after I started the company.
Damn.
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day. What a romantic,
On
eh?
Valentine's Day, yeah. I did nothing for Valentine's Day.
Your wife must have loved you on that day.
Loves me. Actually, we've never done anything for Valentine's. The most I've ever done was take it to Nando's. I mean,
Nice.
Nando's is great.
Nando's is good.
So I feel I'm spoiling her, actually.
Yeah, you're actually going too far.
Too far, yeah.
Slow down. Guys, take tips.
No.
Nando's
she
it
actually just
is.
cooks dinner now.
Okay, so then what happened after that? Because obviously it didn't just stop at the XM.
No.
So there's more steps to it.
That was in July, and then after that, I went back in December to be with them at Comic-Con to get exposure, to understand how the game works. And from there, I picked up distribution for 2 other companies, namely Royal Selangor with TNU and Moducase with Brian Wong.
Okay.
Amazing guys to work with. They've made a huge difference in my life, and they've played a massive role in the growth of Symbiote.
The company as a whole.
The company, yeah. And
then Moducase is,
Moducase is
if
the
you can
modular
see
display
it,
unit.
guys, on the
Behind
left-hand
us.
side
It's all
behind,
lit up.
that's all Moducase.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying, Brian, and
there
them?
was that. And then 2020, obviously, COVID hit us, but it was actually a very good year for us. Everyone was channeling their money into investment grade pieces.
And that's the beauty of it as
look,
well.
since from then it's history. It's just we've been going from strength to strength. 2021, I got distribution of a few more companies: Pure Arts, Queen Studios. What others?
There's a couple now.
There's a couple. Yeah,
under
now,
the belt.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well, but it's all thanks to the support of all of our collectors and
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone
It's
is-
a community, and
everyone
that's
who's
also
bought into my dream. And
Yeah.
I think they love it because since the grand opening of the Underground, which was the 27th of November last year, it's not just a gallery. People see my
it's not.
passion. They can feel it, and they feed off that passion, and they become passionate about it, and I absolutely love that. And,
Basically, it goes back to what we're doing today.
can we get one of our little minions to pour another whiskey?
Yeah, I think this man's thirsty.
Yeah.
Minion number 1, please
Please, love.
enter the shot and top us up.
Yeah, means you don't know how to drink whiskey.
And what we're drinking today, guys,
Katie,
is
please don't laugh.
the
We are doing a
Glenmorangie
podcast.
18, extremely rare.
Extremely rare.
Is it actually, honestly, extremely rare? Or is it just
I could say it is. But I've got like 5 cases at the back there.
But
I
I'm
could say
talking
yours is the last
as a
one in the
whole.
world.
As a
No,
whole.
it actually is. It is.
Really?
Yeah. Any age-stated whiskies at the moment are extremely short supply. It's a global shortage. To give you an idea, this Glenmorangie, the 18-year-old, extremely rare, and the Glenmorangie Signet, which is the one just above this, they have been having
one is
stock
nice.
issues for about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Is it? I love these type of things. I love these things where they say, there's a stock issue.
So this actually is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't believe them at first, but when I was in Singapore now in May, the shelves were all empty.
Oh damn.
So
okay.
if it's empty on that side and empty here,
it's empty.
it's empty. So, so
I
it's-
won't lie, I love challenging that.
yeah.
Like
no, it's
you
true.
guys
So the
out
main
of stock,
shortages is whiskey, champagne, and cognac globally. Huge concern at the
You
moment.
think it's because of the war?
What war?
Ukraine and Russia?
Nah.
Because that's what everybody blames. Like,
No one here cares about that. That's done.
Is it?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yes and no. But anyway, that's a
Can't
topic
afford
for
DSTV.
that's a topic for another day. Okay, so out of the brands that you have sole distribution for, they're all sole distribution, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Which one is your favorite?
Sure.
I know. I've got the good questions, yeah. What can I say?
Which one is my favorite? That's very difficult. That is very, very difficult. I think I would have to go still with XM Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very difficult because
It is very difficult. I love Transformers. I love Spider-Man. I love the comic series. I love movie accurate stuff.
and Pure Arts does the movie
Pure
accurate
Arts
stuff, eh?
does game-related pieces.
Ah, okay.
So Assassin's Creed, anything Ubisoft,
yeah.
Ghost Recon,
Damn.
Cyberpunk,
That's awesome.
yeah, The Witcher. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's quite a few things.
Who does that? Who did that Joker?
Which Joker?
The like super
Queen
realistic
Studios.
ones.
So
Yeah.
Queen Studios
Queen
does
Studios,
hyper-realistic
yeah.
pieces. I still think my love stays with XM Studios, specifically with the Japanese Samurai series.
Yeah, but they are crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah,
looking
the
at them
Japanese
every
Samurai
time you
series
look at them,
displays
it's just
so well
like-
together,
Yeah.
and it tells a story.
Yeah.
It tells a story. They are emotional pieces. I don't know. The others are comic accurate. They're cool. Not to everyone's taste, but I mean, neither is the Samurai series. I think it's all
It's all
quite-
relevant.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
that's all it
subjective,
is. Yeah.
which it should be. That's what art is.
It always should be.
Yeah,
always
you can't
should
judge
be.
a piece objectively. It's just, I
No.
mean, unless it's a quality thing.
Yes, yeah.
But
yeah.
if it's based on what it is, it's all based on it's your
And
subjective.
everybody
opinion.
has their thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
That's what makes it nice because everyone's
perfect,
collection will be different.
Different,
It
yeah.
forces you to showcase your personality.
100%. It's like, for example, myself, all these pieces in here are insane, and I can appreciate
Yeah,
them
but you
so
wouldn't collect
much.
any of this.
I would
you're more
collect
Bear Bricks.
very few, and but my passion and
Well, it's
where what
because
I
of
love.
you that I started Bear Bricks.
Yeah, what I love is the Bear Bricks.
Yeah.
And what do you like about Bear Bricks?
I like that they're all the same shape, and it forces you to look past the sculpt and into the art of what's on that piece.
Yeah,
That for me is that's cool. It's special. It's really it forces you to dive deeper.
yeah.
Into,
Yeah, you have to
into
question.
the
Like you have to
pieces.
actually look at it and be like, because you can look at a Hulk and you know,
You know,
this
it's
is the Hulk.
Yeah, and there's
You know,
different types
X,
of
Y, and
Hulks.
Z. This
But
is a Hulk
the
on
Bear
this.
Brick, you look into the arts.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that one that I bought now in Singapore with my dad, we were at Action City and there was, I mean, you saw when I called you,
Yes,
there must have been over 1,000 Bear Bricks.
I
in the
love that
store.
place, and I've never been there.
No, look, it's crazy. So we were in there, and while I was taking photos of the place, I told my dad, I said, go choose a Bear Brick, whichever one you want, and we'll buy it, and we'll put it in the gallery. And then I'll choose one, and then we'll buy it, so we'll have
Yeah.
it too, and we'll have it on display in the gallery.
Yeah,
And I'm not joking, there was definitely around 1,000 Bear
yeah.
Bricks.
There's tons
Easy.
in there. Yeah,
And makes no sense, but we literally chose the same Bear Brick. And it's from the Rosetta Stone of the hieroglyphics that was on the stone from the British Museum. And we were so surprised that we both chose the same one because we were only going to buy the 400% because of my collection.
yeah. Your
of
collection's more than
400s.
400. Yeah,
That we were so excited. They were like, okay, cool. No, now we must buy the 1,000% and the 100% so that we can have the three together, which will represent the three generations of
Yeah,
my
the
family,
family.
which is my father, myself, and my son. And yeah, got it.
Who,
and it's here on
who's the
display.
1,000%?
My dad.
Okay, at least
Yeah,
you
no, I'm not there
you
yet.
know your place.
I'm not there yet. I'm the 400%.
You're the 400.
At least I'm in the middle.
At
I'm in
least,
the
yeah.
middle.
Shame, good old
Yeah.
good old little man is the 100.
Yeah, no, he'll earn his right one day.
Of course, definitely. He's got a lot more work to do. He's got to get his
no
he's got to
doubt.
get his BSc first.
Yeah.
Behind shop
No,
counter.
100%. The
And
best
then-
degree.
Yeah, the best
Portuguese
degree, Portuguese degree, 100%, definitely. Okay, so you could say at the end of the day, if it was you're on your deathbed, somebody saying or asking what statue you're taking with you,
Sure.
it's an XM piece, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's refine it down.
Cool.
Which piece is it? Is it a Spider-Man because it is
No.
your favorite?
So Spider-Man's my favorite piece. Oh,
Why?
sorry. Spider-Man's my favorite statue. I grew up watching Spider-Man, from the 1990s TV series.
Quite old, eh?
Animated series. Yeah. I'm quite dated. I'm aging well though.
Beautifully.
Yeah. Can't you see?
Yeah, definitely. It's all the steers.
Yeah. Well, just today though. So love for Spider-Man's always been since I was young. From the toys to the animated TV series in the 90s, comics, trading cards, all of that.
Everything,
all
yeah.
of that stuff. Just loved all of it.
Yeah.
However, not my favorite statue. My favorite statue is by a character that I don't even know. Don't know his storyline. Don't know anything about him.
That's cool.
I favor Marvel all the time.
Yeah.
But this character's from DC.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So it's the Samurai series Deathstroke.
Yeah, that one is crazy.
Yeah.
That one there.
So he was actually the first
Yeah,
assassin.
see. Okay.
And I still don't know much about him, but I know this. I know that he was the first assassin in DC. Well, not the first assassin in DC, but the before Deadpool.
Okay.
So his name is
Deathstroke.
His name is Slade Wilson.
Okay.
Slade Wilson, I think.
Yeah. You stand to be corrected on that
I
one.
stand to be corrected. Yeah. And what is Deadpool's name?
I have no idea. I'll be honest. I love Deadpool. What's Deadpool's name, guys?
What is Deadpool's name? No, not Deadpool. Deathstroke. It's Slade Wilson. No. Can you guys check for me? Deathstroke. Because I want to tell you something now that's going to blow your mind. Slade Wilson,
you had it.
Hey,
yeah, believe in yourself.
Yes,
You've got to be your own biggest fan,
that's
remember?
Why I asked him. I didn't believe in myself. So Slade Wilson is Deathstroke. So he's an assassin that goes out to kill Batman and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
He's not fucking around.
Cool spin-off story on that. That's where Deadpool comes from. They stole, because Deathstroke is an assassin. Deadpool's an assassin.
Assassin as well.
His name is Slade Wilson. And Deadpool's name is Wade Wilson. So they literally...
Holy shit.
It's a complete rip-off of Deathstroke.
Deathstroke came first,
That's why I say Deathstroke was the first assassin if you're going between Deathstroke and Deadpool. And even think of the name, Deathstroke,
Deadpool.
They're like...
So close.
Yeah.
Like you can't even...
That is a direct rip-off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
That's
so
hectic.
for me, it's just that piece, that burnt orange on his shoulder blades.
Yeah.
His stance. It's just it's a perfect piece.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got
even the base is really cool.
No, it's insane.
The base is pretty awesome.
On the head of a gorilla.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
that's insane.
you know, I have I don't even know how many. I'm sure it's over 1,000 statues.
Yeah.
And that's piece
the one.
Still sticks out. And I love it so much that when my designers were busy fitting the underground, I showed them that statue, and I said, those swords, I want them fabricated as my door handles.
Oh, yes. And they are.
They are. So
That's
my
so
door
cool.
handles are
The swords.
Deathstroke's swords.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But it is a really cool, like even for me, if I had to buy like more XMs and stuff like that, it would definitely be Deadpool. Deathstroke's really cool. Even the normal one, I think there was one, isn't that him there?
Yes, yeah. With the half his face as a skull. And you know, funny enough, there's actually quite a cool story to that piece. So it took about a year or so to convince my dad of my new company. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that.
You know, I've realized that yeah, you're going to need it. Well, you needed it back then. Now you don't really need it as much.
Back then I needed something a lot stronger than whiskey.
It is, and you know, like, I respect him for actually like just believing in you, because we both come from very like conservative, like you know, traditional families.
He had reason. He had reason to be very worried about it, because he had been screwed over before.
Yeah, and it's something
with
new.
bringing in a whiskey for the store. So
it's something new.
To an extent, I understood, but it wasn't easy.
Yeah, and it's
really
also like
easy, yeah.
I had this whole thing where when I was starting out, I wanted to open up my own recording studio and do like not low budget, but the whole pitch to clients would be, I'd give you the same quality radio
affordable.
ad at a better deal.
Yeah.
And
having a bigger market.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously
being an entrepreneur.
me pitching that to my parents at the time, they were like, this boy is gonna do cocaine, and
Sure.
you are too naughty for this. You're gonna go straight to the shop and work. None of that. So I can, I understand
Yeah.
like the why your dad was nervous and stuff like that, because it's so different for them.
Completely different.
Their generation was you do this and you do that and
That's it.
just do that and you'll
Yeah.
be fine.
100%.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I can just imagine the conversation you had with your dad telling him,
Yeah, that was-
I want to bring these toys into the country.
Yeah. No, look, I was doing it.
Yeah.
And twice on two separate occasions, and very seriously, he threatened to kick me out of the business, to tell me to take my toys and go and fuck off. That was literally what he told me. But you know what? Back to what I said earlier, I believed in myself.
Yeah.
I was my own biggest fan.
Yeah.
And I put my head down, and despite what he said, despite the threats,
Yeah.
I kept pushing and I made it happen. And now he supports me full on.
Yeah.
He believes
He
in my
believes
dream.
in
He
it and you
believes
can
in me.
see it. It's not
And
just what he doesn't just.
no.
Yes, he believes you.
But he believes in what I'm
can
doing.
see
yeah.
it, you
No,
know?
and he's part of it. He's really enjoying it, and it's so nice to see him tell that story to others, because you can
Yeah.
see how he's now becoming so passionate
Yeah.
about it, and
Yeah, it's become
special.
one of his passions as well now,
No, for sure,
basically.
you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And back to the Deathstroke. So I was in Singapore in July 2019, where I signed my sole distribution contract. I was there for a bit with the family. Came back to SA, and then that same year in December, I said to my dad, I said, come, I want to show you what I'm doing on a global level. And came with me to Singapore, and I took him to my warehouse. We have a warehouse there in Singapore where I consolidate all my stock and then
Yeah.
contain it through to SA. I took him to my warehouse, and I said, Dad, this is all my stock. I'm going to bring this to SA. And he said, no, bullshit, da-da-da-da. I said, okay, cool. Here's my pen. Sign any box that you want, and I'll bring that box home to you. And at that point, I'd never seen Deathstroke.
Yeah.
There was about 300 boxes in the warehouse, and I told him at random to go sign any box that he wants. He went, and he signed the box of this Deathstroke.
Oh, damn.
And
That's so
if you
cool.
look at the statue there, the frame
Oh,
behind
the
it,
box is there.
I cut out the part where he signed,
Yeah.
and it just so happened that when I opened that statue, that I put it up and I loved it, and it's
Yeah.
got nothing to do with the fact that he signed it.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
love
a
the
piece
statue.
that I love, and it's crazy story how out of 300 or so boxes,
Chose that one.
he signed that one. I brought it home to him, and now that piece to us is priceless.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you
Yeah.
can never sell that one. That
No.
one's like that's
no.
gold there. That's part
Yeah.
of the Symbiote brand. That's your story.
That's a good way to put it. That
Yeah.
is
That's
that
part
is
of
part
the-
of the Symbiote brand.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's this whole like shift with branding and stuff like that, and there's only a few brands that I've personally see that are doing it. It's always about putting a product down a person's mouth and in their brain. But if you want to dig a little bit deeper, you've got to start doing this thing called brand storytelling. So you've got to start telling the story, and like cool things like that. That becomes part of your story. You know, you can almost
it's
take it back on a timeline and say, boom,
Yeah,
this happened.
it's been a rough road, but it's definitely part of the
worth
story,
it,
and
though.
it's definitely worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's almost like you get to do your passion every day as a job. It's like that saying where if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
There we go.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
it's very...
and I do love what I do.
Exactly. But I think you were lucky in a sense that you love business as a whole.
That's my main passion. So I love art, I love whiskey, I love wine, love all of it. But my main passion is doing business. So that for me,
Yeah,
I
that's
love
what gets you
selling
up in the
anything.
morning.
That's what gets me up in the morning. Yeah,
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
is exciting as well. It's a different challenge every day.
yeah.
It's not the same thing. You don't go to a desk and do you need to do this, and this, and
Yeah.
then the next day you come back, you need to do this,
No,
this, and
it's,
this. There's new challenges
Yeah, no.
every day.
Look, I love creating and building an experience and doing new, bigger and better things. Always innovating, being a visionary, just looking ahead.
Yeah, the bigger
planning
picture.
10, 20 years, looking at the bigger picture. And then 2022, now this year, March, I decided. Jace joined the team.
Yes, he did. I remember that.
He was always doing logistics for Symbiote, but then I eventually roped him in full time. Finally,
Jesus, took you long enough.
yeah, got him in,
God damn it.
and he took a shitload of work off my back. But everyone thought that I was just gonna sit back and relax.
Yeah.
And well, everyone, yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of people. Not gonna mention any names, but yeah, a lot
People
of people
thought, yeah.
People thought.
Yeah.
Let's use that terminology. People thought
Yeah.
I was gonna sit back and relax, and I actually just used that time to innovate and create something new. And instantly, literally, he started in March. We pumped that month through, and at the end of that month, I actually had, we can say we launched on the 25th of March. We launched the Symbiote, the Underground Whiskey Club.
Yes. Yeah.
Which it was my way of, because, I have the two companies, Monument Liquor Warehouse and Symbiote Premium Collectibles. I wanted to somehow marry the two companies together. So the best way to do it is just finding the art in Monument and bringing it to Symbiote, and that was with wine and whiskey. Started the Whiskey Club, great start.
It was.
Yeah.
I didn't come to the first event, but
yeah,
I heard
first
it
event
was.
I had it for media, and there was one or two influencers, but they did nothing. Yeah, they were complete waste of a seat. And then
Unfortunately,
more whiskey enthusiasts at that time, just for them to understand what I was doing and whatnot. I hosted it with Rowan Gibb, good friend of mine. He's from a company called RGBC, but he works directly for Brand, which is Benriach, Glendronach, and Woodford Reserve. So two Scotch
a good bourbon.
whiskies and a American bourbon.
And a good one as well.
Very good. Yes, very
good.
good. And we hosted our first event, and that was March. And I tell you, it's kicked off like crazy. Our Whiskey Club events, when I list them, they sell out within 2 to 3 minutes. Seconds, sometimes
what do you
not
mean
even a
minutes,
minute.
man?
Yeah.
Seconds. I remember for Glenmorangie, I was like, I had to tell you like in a week, and not even. I was like, all I said to you, I remember that day, I was like, I don't care, just book me 2 tickets. And one, because, okay, the event itself was crazy, but it would have always been an event I wanted to come to because I like Glenmorangie. It's just a whiskey I enjoy.
Yeah, and it just so happened we had the artists here.
That was insane. Like I was still like, at first I didn't really, like, you don't really notice and you don't really understand, and then after a while, when they started drawing,
that was
and when I
crazy.
saw Oak draw with 2 hands,
Steve
then
Ellis.
I knew, I was like, okay, shit's getting serious now.
To see that true talent in action it's
and
crazy.
it's like seconds. You know what I mean? Like they do it so fast.
And,
that piece that they did for Craig.
Feedback that I got from them, I mean, so it's obviously to tell everyone, it was a Glenmorangie event that we hosted.
Yes, yeah.
And I hosted all the international artists who attended Comic-Con Africa.
Yes.
At the gallery for their evening to mingle with the guests and obviously have a good time and get to know everyone on a one-on-one basis. And feedback from the artists, funny enough, and I was quite shocked, they said it was the best event they've ever been to in their lives.
Damn.
So I was
That's
really
cool.
taken aback.
That's really
And
cool.
I mean, I think that's why they put so much effort into drawing
Yeah, I mean,
all those awesome
yeah.
illustrations on the Showstopper box.
You know what I always say? I
Got
get goosebumps.
boy.
I get goosebumps. But I really take my hat off to them because those guys were drawing.
Yeah,
and they
those guys did not stop.
Yes,
They
for like
drew
an hour,
and drew
2 hours. They
and
were
drew.
like just drawing the
But
whole
you could
time.
See, you could see they loved
they
every
loved,
second of it. And
they were enjoying themselves.
So we started the Whiskey Club in March. Obviously, it's wine and whiskey. It's kicked
A little
off
bit
like
for
crazy.
everyone, guys. Like if you like whiskey, but you got to be part of the club. I'm sorry.
So that's the problem with that. Not a problem. I love keeping things very exclusive.
Yeah.
I feel there's nothing more powerful than the word no.
Yes, 100%.
What I do is I've got the one-way traffic WhatsApp group. If people want to join the Whiskey Club, they have to go onto the website and submit an application where it asks questions of what is your preferred whiskey or wine, why do you want to join the club, what do you want to get out of the club, and then I'll go through a vetting process and I'll read through it and I'll see if I feel that you are the right person for the club.
You can then join.
Yeah. So then I'll add the people to the
and
one-way
the website
traffic.
is what is the website again?
Symbiotewhiskeyclub.com.
Okay.
.com or
If you guys are looking for
and whiskey
some really
as
good
in
whiskies.
whiskey, Scotch spelling, not Irish. So no E before the Y.
Yeah. So if you guys are looking for some good whiskies, some good alcohol in general, you know where to go now.
And then, so once the vetting process is done, Then if I feel you worthy of the group, which sounds really arrogant, but I just want people who are passionate or who want to learn about whiskey to be allowed in the group. Then you'll be added to the group. Group will only have a maximum of 230 members. We are currently on 165 members or 175, not too sure. It's a one-way traffic group where I post invitations and albums of the photos from the past events.
I did send one message in the very beginning, but you told me to delete it.
I did tell you to delete it. Yeah, you were actually the first person to send a message.
Yeah. When I saw I was like,
very glad I made it admin only. I knew that only bad things were coming after that.
As soon as I saw that this group was like, you could just message, I was like, get in.
That means you are one of the founding members.
You too, yes, thank you.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
You don't have whiskey, but cheers. He doesn't have whiskey.
Excuse me.
How much more obvious do we need to make it, guys?
Thank you, Jace. I appreciate
Jace is a legend. But
Jace owes me a book one.
Yes, he does.
Jace owes me a book one.
Allegedly owes you a book one.
Yeah.
No, I'm good for now.
Jace
Thank you.
owes me a book one. God bless you. Amen. Thank you.
What a double.
See, like I feel bad we're drinking Miggs's whiskey here.
No, but this is such a, for me, what is whiskey? Like, what is sitting at home drinking whiskey by yourself? Is it?
It's great.
It is great. Yeah. It is great.
It is great. It is fucking great.
It is great.
Cheers.
Don't get me wrong. It is good. But for me, this is like so much more special. You know, like sitting here,
no doubt, it's very special.
Having the whiskey, you know, everyone enjoying it. For me, that's what it's about. It's about sitting around with mates, having a whiskey, chilling, talking cuck, you know, throwing ideas around. This is what it's about for me. Yeah. It's not about the whiskey and me taking it home and displaying it. No,
I understand.
Fuck that shit. No,
it's linked to a memory. That's what's special.
We're drinking it and we're drinking it tonight.
That's why I get all my members to sign the showstopper of on our whiskey events.
Yeah, and that's cool. Like that's, you know, that's also what I like about the events. The events, it's not everyone does whiskey tasting. Not everyone. Yeah. But there's a lot of whiskey tastings out there. You're gonna come down, you're probably gonna have a starter, main, dessert, yes, and then you're gonna get told to leave.
Yeah. Not here.
Where with this, it's completely different. You walk in.
It's an experience.
It's 100%.
Welcome drinks, Michelin star chef pairings.
You know, and it's just also the vibe. Everybody's here to have a good time. You have good whiskeys. You know, there's the showstopper where I guess you can actually explain that a little bit more. Let's chat about the showstoppers.
With the Whiskey Club event, people will arrive. There'll be the welcome drink, which will be one of their base whiskeys that they'll use for a cocktail, just to get everyone in the mood.
Buzzing.
All buzzing. When people sit down, we normally have a 5 canapé starter. Sorry, not a starter, 5 canapés to start with.
Yes.
That'll be lined on a char-grilled Jack Daniel's Frank Sinatra piece of stave, so a wooden stave.
It's actual wood, guys.
It's actual wood. It really is.
It's really cool.
And then
but it dirties your hands.
Yeah, it does. From there, we'll have a starter, main, and dessert that will be perfectly paired by the Michelin star chef, Johan.
Shout out to Johan.
Yeah, that guy is just magic.
Every single meal. And you know what I love about the meals is that it's, sorry to interrupt you, it's not this fine dining meal where you get a piece of steak.
Yeah.
It's a
proper filling meal. Yes.
You eat, and I love that.
It still, meets that Michelin grade.
Yeah, I love that.
It's fantastic. And then, so starter, main, dessert. Whiskies on the tasting mat. Anywhere between 3 to 5 whiskies will be on the tasting mat that will be perfectly paired by chef for the evening. And at the end of the evening, we'll have a palate cleanser, which was introduced by... It wasn't you, was it?
No.
Someone.
I've given you plenty of good ideas, but...
Are you sure it wasn't you?
I can't give you all of them. Was it?
Someone told me... Oh, well, I'll think of who it was. But anyway, so we have the welcome drink, the canapes, the starter, main, dessert, the 3 to 5 whiskies on the tasting mat where we'll have... That'll be paired to those meals. And then after that, what we do is we'll have a palate cleanser of a espresso macchiato, a decaf or normal caffeinated. And then from there, what I do is with the showstopper. The showstopper is the last whiskey of the evening.
Yeah.
I believe that in any experience, you need to have that one lasting memory of the place. And what I do is I open one of my bottles out of my collection, and it'll be a bottle of that brand of that we're having for that evening.
Yeah.
And it'll be something that's either very rare, very exclusive, very expensive, sought after, something like that.
Special.
Something
It's
special.
a special
Something
whiskey.
special.
Not
Something
gonna
like
drink
you
it
want to
every
walk
day.
into your friend's house and you see he has it in his collection and you be
Like,
like,
holy
I've
shit.
drank that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, so I open that for everyone to try, and then we'll do our final tasting in the cellar where the brand ambassador does the final talk of the showstopper at that point.
Yeah, no, it is like for me. I'm fortunate enough to actually have come to some of the events, and you know, a part of me, and it's like I said it to you earlier, like I don't want to come to all of them because I still want them to be as special.
They will be.
I mean, and I know that. And
Jason and I have been to all 13. They are great. we haven't felt the monotonous feeling in any of them.
Are you not worried about that? Because actually,
all.
funny enough, myself and Jace were actually speaking when it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And I was saying to him, my biggest concern is that it becomes, and I don't think it will, but it's what I'm worried about. It becomes a bit mainstream.
No. The demand is too high. We have so many new members coming in. It's always a fight to get tickets.
Yeah.
The meals are always different because now they're going according to flavor profile of the whiskey.
Yeah.
And all the whiskeys are different. I think the only time you might feel, oh shit, this was like last time, is if we have another Glenfiddich event and we had one this year.
Yeah, true.
But the only next time we're going to have a Glenfiddich event will be maybe
A couple of years' time or whatever.
maybe next year or maybe
Next
even
year.
the year after. Because, I mean, if I kept my calendar open, I would have been fully booked with companies for the brands up until, I think, end of 2025. So
Yeah.
beginning 2026.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. And that's
Yeah,
not
it
even
is.
touching sides with the same brands.
Yeah.
So if you
Which
have,
is,
for example,
that's also the nice thing
there's so many different brands.
about the liquor industry is that there's not,
Oh,
there's not
plenty.
just one
No,
whiskey.
there's plenty.
There's one house of brands that has
Yeah.
seven
They have-
different
yeah,
whiskeys.
exactly.
You know, so that is the
Yeah.
cool thing. And I guess that's, you can also kind of use that to your advantage where I think we were saying, like, if you have a tequila night
Yeah.
for some odd reason,
Yeah.
you could have
We're going
Mexican themed menu XYZ
No, we will,
or something
definitely, yeah.
completely, you know, so that's
yeah.
the nice thing.
Yeah.
That's where I think you've got to, I don't want to say you're lucky in that sense, but you have some like
Look,
leeway.
we got to keep innovative. We have to
You have
stay,
to, yeah, you have
stay
to.
creative, which we are and which we will. We will keep things exciting for everyone.
Yeah.
And so our plan for next year, we're going to have 17 events. So it's going to be one every 3 weeks. And it's going to be all mixed up between wine and whiskey. And I think for the 2024 season, we might start introducing different categories like cognac and tequila and whatnot. But before I have those evenings, I would like to become more educated on those categories.
Yeah, it makes sense. You want to know.
I want to know.
You want to know the
properly.
ins and outs of the whiskey. I mean,
I
the
want to be
tequila
as
and-
knowledgeable on cognac and tequila as
you
I
are
am
with whiskey.
on whiskey and wine.
Yeah.
Before I have events here, because if someone comes to me and asks a question or asks my advice, or ask for confidence,
Don't die.
I almost fucking choked.
Don't die. This is a family-friendly show.
sis.
We don't want
Sorry.
anybody dying.
Sorry.
You need a sip
Just
of
hang on,
whiskey.
let me have some liquid.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the Guinness you had
All
earlier
the 3 Steers burgers.
in one sitting.
You guys choose. Not one sitting, fucking 5 minutes. Okay, it's been 3
Good
months.
times,
Okay.
good times,
It's been
good
3
times.
months.
This is what the underground's all about.
It is. Well, not about marathon. Or
With steers
it's not
in.
like an eating competition, but I definitely treated it as such. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, you kind of know this already, but I want to wrap up on what's next for Symbiote, and you know, what are you looking forward to? What's really exciting you now?
Sure.
And I can understand that it's difficult for you to get excited because I know you can't even sit and enjoy this place. So
So
is
here's the
a
thing.
pity.
Before I tell you about what's next for Symbiote, people say and I never have, and I actually never have. I've never sat back and enjoyed and appreciated what I've created. However, I enjoy it so much and I get so much appreciation for this place through others. So when I have guests down
Makes
here and I
sense.
see how excited they are to be in the space, to indulge in the art that's in here and to be like so wowed at the underground. That's where I get my true sense of success.
Yeah.
And
That's how you
appreciation.
enjoy the space.
I do.
I think
yes.
Jason said it as well yesterday.
Yeah.
With the whiskey evenings and with the tastings and stuff like that. That's you enjoying your space.
Yes. 100%.
That's
Me
cool.
and seeing others enjoy it for me, it means the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way I see it. Yeah.
And it's a really cool like place to come and like hang out. And the one thing that blows me away about this place is that you come down here and the light never changes.
Light never changes.
So you come down here, it's
No
like
windows,
a casino.
no
No
clocks.
windows, no nothing. So you come in here at like, you could come in here at 12 in the afternoon.
12 in the afternoon, leave at midnight, stay the same.
When you walk out, it's like, oh my God, what's
Yeah.
going on? Like it's dark.
Why
What's
is it so
happening?
dark?
Like
Yeah.
this is not right because you're so used to the constant like light, nothing changes, everything's the same. So I get that's also really cool. But like I said, what's next for Symbiote?
So I don't want to give too much away.
Of course,
Because a
of
true
course.
businessman never reveals these things.
No, of course. And you can't. I mean, at the end
But-
of the day, it has to be a surprise.
Yeah. But I'll give you a little bit of an inside scoop. So Symbiote is going national.
Okay.
We are opening a branch in Port Elizabeth.
Nice.
And Whiskey Club will be extending to Port Elizabeth as well. I'll be opening an underground in PE as well.
Is it going to be underground?
I don't know. We're still actually looking for a place. Probably won't be underground,
Yeah.
but I
What
don't
a
even
pity.
think it'll be called the underground because that's here.
Yeah.
It will have a different name.
Yeah, it'll have its
but-
own name.
Yeah, it'll have its own name. But yeah, so Symbiote PE will have a gallery, and I will be launching the Whiskey Club there as well, where we will be flying down for tastings and replicating what we do here there.
Okay.
I just realized I say yeah a lot.
Don't worry. There's certain things I realized in my first season of doing this. I realized that I say, you know what I mean, so much.
And
When I
I've
was
got
editing-
goosebumps.
Yeah, goosebumps.
That's a big one.
But at least
That's a big one, everybody.
At least you can see that I
creative
actually
block,
get
man.
the
I have
the
goosebumps.
goosebumps. Yeah, that should be like my slogan.
Hang on, no. Thank you. I'm very so happy.
We need to end this episode.
I am very happy that you mentioned the word slogan,
Yes.
because your slogan credit
Yeah.
belongs to.
You.
Thank you.
Yeah, the creative cut. But you know me, I'm not a type of. I'll give credit where credit is due. That is 100%
No, I'm not
because of
saying you're
you.
not going to give the credit. I want royalties.
You're on royalties, okay?
Thank
I
you.
will speak about it.
Thank you very much.
0.25%.
I'll take it. It's better than what I'm currently getting.
True. That's actually so true. Okay, well, yeah, that's about it. I mean, we could sit here and chat for like 4 hours, but I don't want to keep you that long. Thank you for actually doing this. I know at first
pleasure.
you were a bit hesitant and
Yeah,
and
little
you
bit.
know, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, I can appreciate that.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. It was really cool. This is really cool. I really enjoyed it. And to end it off, I made a little something for you.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
was
okay.
that a
never
photo
mind.
moment?
No.
Oh, you mustn't give it to me.
We missed the one part where we've got to review the burgers. So I'll
Review the burgers.
yeah. Okay.
I'm
so
still trying
cool.
to get it through.
Okay.
Well,
Let me kick it off. Okay, cool. Well, just before we leave, sorry guys, just before we leave, what did you think of the burgers? We kept it pretty basic today. We just had
it's not basic.
no,
It's great.
it's actually not. No, it's one of the best burgers in SA.
The best burger
the best burger in
in
SA. We had we actually had too many. We had a family.
I can explain. That should be
I feel
my slogan.
ashamed.
I
Yeah.
can explain.
We had a family share it mix pack, or whatever you want to call it. But let's just say we had king steers.
We had king steers.
We had king
yes.
steers. Let's just leave it at that.
It was great. It was fantastic. That mustard, the onion, the lettuce, the tomato. It was pure
The
fucking
gherkin, the
magic.
pickle. The gherkin, it's
Oh, that thing in the middle, it's just so perfectly placed.
the best. I don't know what
It's art.
it is. King steer is art,
art.
100%.
We are going to buy steers. That's what's next for Symbiote.
Next
we are
to
going to buy
Symbiote,
steers.
I want to inquire.
No. Sorry, not next to Symbiote. Next, inside Symbiote. We are going to put steers inside Symbiote.
Screw the archive.
Yeah.
Build the little steers there.
No doubt.
Done.
Can pass the burgers through the fish tank.
Jesus, you'll probably weigh like 600 kilos by the end of that steers. But I mean, it's always a good burger. That's what blows me away with steers.
Consistent.
They are so...
It's like a dog. So faithful.
Yeah,
Never lets you down.
never. You can't go wrong with the steers
Actually, I'm
burger.
going to start crying.
Let's leave that for after the cameras.
Okay.
Okay, we'll cry now. But anyway, so we had the king steer. I'm sure everybody watching this can agree. It is the best burger in South Africa.
Yeah.
Hands down.
No doubt.
You
And if
can't-
you think otherwise, you're wrong.
Yeah, simple. 100% you're wrong. Go and question.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Joking. Don't answer.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. I can agree with that 100%.
I'm not supposed to say that.
No, you were, because I agree with you. If you don't think a king steer, it is fine. You can dislike this video. You can unsubscribe. No, I'm kidding. Whatever. You guys do what you want.
13 out of 10.
Yeah, king steer is like that. Like the
can't.
only thing I can say is try the chicken version. It's a little bit healthier. That's about it. But otherwise, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. No. It's
400 out of 10.
Oh, flawless.
Always a good burger.
That's beautiful.
Always. And to end it off officially, just a little something that I think this is where we kind of where we both I think this is where we click, because I'm a sucker for the attention to details and these small little things. This is not complete, actually. It should have a tiny little TCB filled on there.
Okay.
Craig had to get a block. You know the story.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
the story.
yeah.
But you can go ahead, open it up. Just something small, just to say thank you for taking time out of your day. I mean, it is almost 9 o'clock in the evening, so yeah.
That is cool.
Thank you, dude.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Lekker, dude.
Jeez, we'll put this on display upstairs.
Something different.
Yeah. You should have
and-
actually, if your attention, sorry, I must.
No, please
Burst your
please
if your
do.
attention to detail was spectacular, you would have had this at 1 minute earlier, because then it would have been my favorite number.
Okay, well,
23.
I'm not your wife, so I don't know those things.
Well, my wife doesn't even know my favorite
Askies.
number.
And
my
there's 2 more things in there.
Two
Two
more
more
things.
things. 2 more
Let me
things.
do this with holding a mic where there was supposed
Let me
to
help
be
you.
a
Let me
stand.
help you. Let me help you.
Supposed to be a stand here. Dear Damien, thank you for taking the time to sit down with me. You literally just said this,
Yeah.
to talk about the things. Did you script this whole thing?
No, it's not. No, I didn't script it.
That I love. Furthermore, thank you for being my inspiration. Thanks to you for the podcast. Pleasure, my boy.
Lekker. Check
Did I
the
finally
back. Check the back. Boom.
Oh!
Boom.
That is hot. That is hot. That is
Little
hot.
thank you card.
That is hot. It is hot. And I finally got my pin.
You finally got your pin.
Finally got my pin.
I need to bring you a black one. I need
That's
to bring
cool.
you a black one.
Thanks, bro.
Lekker. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thank
Please
you very much.
do like or dislike if you didn't enjoy the
Depends on the
episode.
burger story.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's well, for him,
yeah.
not me. Seriously.
Share it as well if you think somebody or one of your friends would enjoy the episode. And if you're looking forward to more episodes, subscribe. It's as simple as that. Cool. Thank you,
Cheers.
guys. Yes, man. Fucking legends. Oh, damn.